All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening, Monday evening, in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a message titled Revealing the Power of Truth and Knowledge for the End Day. Revealing the power and truth of the and knowledge. Power and truth, knowledge for the end day. And I will say that I thank the Most High Yah for giving me patience. I thank the Most High Yah for meekness, lowless, silent, and humbleness. 99.9 don't know what that is, nor shall they experience it in the realm of He that created humbleness, silence, lowness, meekness. You know how Solomon said there's a time to speak and there's a time to keep silent. There's a time to speak and there's a time to keep silent. 99.9 don't know what that's about, especially on these devil platforms. But I can't blame them because I believe, I ain't gonna say I believe, I know for a fact. I'm gonna start saying I know for a fact because it's just entirely so many things that I'm starting to see that I'm like saying to the Father, but Father, so all this time, it was what I said. All this time, Deborah, was I in thee. So all this time I knew. Yes, Deborah, that's how you knew. So I give him all glory and praise and honor for being all that he was, all that he is, and what all that he's going to be in the days to come. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. And I will say to you that this topic is going to cover pretty much a little here, a little there, and a little over there. Okay. And it's revealing the power of truth and knowledge for the end day. What he dealt with me today on was the fact that, see, these things that you're hearing now, you heard, you knew. And I'm more so like, but why? But why, Father? Why is it they don't know? Why is it they don't know this? That why is it they don't know this? How could a world be here not knowing these things in which you give to a single individual? I battle with that, child. That's what you call endurance, long suffering. Because you're long suffering, knowing that you're right, but walking amongst people that's wrong. You're enduring, knowing that you are in where you're supposed to be, while you see everybody go into the darkness of this day. That's take endurance, long suffering. See, people thought long suffering and endurance is what they say it is. No, baby, you got to wrap that endurance in a wrapping paper. You got to wrap long suffering in wrapping paper. Why? Because it's a gift to you from Him. You got to see it as something that He knew that you would need when He sent you down here. He knew you would need that. So, you have to look at endurance and long suffering. Who was the number one? Yeshua. Yeshua endure and were also going through long suffering since the day before his mother had him and the day after. You see? So I myself can look at that and I can actually say that if he was not so greater in me, how would I have been able to endure? How would I have been able, Father, y'all, to long suffer? Long suffer. I would not have. So I know that I know that I know that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I can actually, and I'm going to speak on that and never cease from it. Because let me write it down. Reenact. Reenact, I've been watching during the pandemic. Now, react. I'm going to give you that. It's a page that I've been following since the pandemic because they were giving you insight on information that was taking place, and they were bringing information to people that's around the world. Okay. So now they still exist, and I myself don't look at them every day, but I try to get to them every chance that I get. I try to look and hear what they're saying. When I heard some things that they said today, and I went to the Father, I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. Why are they speaking what I already knew? Why are they just not getting this? Going back to what I was saying, revealing the power of truth and knowledge. That knowledge that is increasing is spiritual knowledge of the things that have not showed up as truth. It is allowing it all to be plainly seen. So everything, and this is also detached to, it's nothing hidden. Okay. And it's over because everything now is clearly seen. And as a prophetess, I see it to be that. Even if it takes me to go before the Father and say, Father, but why can't they see it? Why can't they get it? Why don't they understand it? Why don't they see what's going on? This is why. It's like this because it's not given to any and everyone that says, I see it, I hear it, I understand it. No, it's not. That's your flesh talking. But when the Spirit give it, you're going to know it's the Spirit. Okay? When it give you the eye to see, you're going to know it was the Spirit that gives you the eye to see. When you hear from that spiritual ear, you're going to know that it was the Spirit that giving you the ear to hear. Many people are walking around assuming because I can hear natural and I can see natural, I get it. I get it. They don't. They speak quickly with the mouth, and their spirit has no detachment to the truth of the whole matter. What I did would react. I sat and I was called myself making chicken fried rice. And I decided to just wash different things I was using in the process so I won't have cleaning afterwards. And I began to hear the man in react, act as if, why are y'all saying that? Why ain't nobody saying? And I'm like saying, I turned around to really look at his reaction from my phone, and I said, man, this stuff been this. Everybody know that. At least I thought I did. I thought that. I, let me say, not everybody knew it. When what I knew, and what I know is identical to what the elites that's running y'all tears are doing. Because I'm like saying, but Father, these people is upperclassmen, classers, or wealthy, and they got it going on. What is it they don't know? It's plainly seen. No, it's not, Deborah. No, it's not. It's not given to them. I said, and it was a reason why. Yes, it was a reason why. America is exactly what I have said, a snake. Now, just imagine the snake in the grass. Just imagine the serpent in Genesis 3:15. Just imagine United Snakes being the serpent in the garden. Just imagine that. The serpent. Well, that's what this country is. United Snakes is like unto a serpent. slither its way in and out of all kind of wrongdoing, darkness, evil. And I'm like saying, but Father, you letting that serpent get away with a lot. They ain't getting away with nothing that the heaven didn't know about, Deborah. I wrote that in and out. So it ain't nothing like the serpent is around here doing something that I didn't orchestrate from the kingdom in and before the beginning. So keep in mind now. And I'm like more so embracing what y'all is saying, because I'm thinking when before Obama ran for president, he was first and foremost, it was said that he would run. Instant, I knew who he was. Instant. So when he did step in, sign in to run for president, where I was working, I dealt with a multitude of people coming in and out, in and out. And we would all, these was my normal customers, and they were like, we talking about, they say, the melanated people would say, are you gonna vote? We finally getting a black president into the office. Isn't that something? And I always told them, baby, that man is not you. That man is a snake in the grass. And y'all don't even know who y'all dealing with. That was way back then. Okay, let me show you another one. When I think about 9/11, I told y'all about that. The foreclosures on the houses, I told y'all about that. So where my understanding kicked in, I give or take 2004 is where I believe where United States had signed off on this country. I think that was in the 2000. I think that was 2004. They signed off on this country. That means they no longer own this country. I think it was in 2004. 2008, when they took all the homes. I recognized these things, and in me was long suffering and endurance. Because in my mind, I couldn't actually believe people will work all these years, buy a home, and let somebody walk in and say they taking it. Oh no, the country never thought, never put pieces together, that this was a system that had set up to take all your property. This was a part of the country seeing how much power they have in this country, that they could take what you work hard for at a blink of an eye, and you wouldn't say a cock and picking word, and you didn't. That's why they poured up with 9/11. They know that was them. That didn't have nothing to do with nobody else but your own country. Ain't no such thing as what is it? What's those people they say it that comes in not snipers, but the people that comes in ISIS. All that is trash. Your country made it up, and they're gonna continue. I don't know. No, they don't have to continue, because that's what the Father is revealing to me through the knowledge. Is there's no more pretending. There's no more nothing hidden, Deborah. That's why it's over. Why people in this country are still playing a game with themselves. They're playing with themselves because everything is plainly seen. So I'm here making this fried rice. And like I said, I'm dealing with the water. I'm dealing with the water because I'm washing cleaning up behind me, and I'm dealing with the water. And he said, now listen to what he said. And I'm listening to all these real old heads speaking on React. And I'm like saying, and the guy that's with React, he's like, well, why didn't nobody say nothing? No, they did. I heard it. They just, no, and they know, yes, they just nothing. These people are coming out because they are elderly, and they see that these things should have been spoke of before they get in the grave. And I look at it and I say, see that, Father? Nobody was willing to tell the truth. And this is what time we're in. We're in, not a time, but we're in that day where the power of truth and knowledge is being revealed. And it's not the type of power of truth and knowledge that's being revealed to enlighten you. If you ain't enlightened, you ain't gonna be enlightened. That's what people don't understand. And he had to deal with me on that. That's the part I'm telling you is finished. I'm not gonna enlighten these people. It was already there. He said, now didn't you know it? I said, yeah, I knew it. The day that it hit, it flashed on the news. First thing I thought, this United Snakes of America. I knew it was they setup. Because where I caught mine was The first thing that the television on the news, they wheeled into Bush. He was sitting down on the floor on this little stand, reading to little babies, little kids. I don't even think they were in kindergarten, reading books. The moment they came in and told him it was done, he looked up and I read his eyes. Had not he looked up, I wouldn't have read his eyes. But when he looked up, I read his eyes. I said, you dog, you knew it. Y'all set that up. Instant, I knew 9/11 wasn't about no ISIS or nobody coming to do anything to this country. They used that to win this country over. That's one of the number one things they have used throughout time to make this country think that somebody's trying to take their country or somebody's doing something to their country, somebody's stealing something from their country. Because so Reenact, I'm going to call him Reenact. He's hurt because all in the last 2 weeks, he found out even all of these Europeans that were killed because they thought someone was doing something to the United States of America. What they found out when they went to investigate, out of all these years being snipers, being know how to make bombs, all these years they thought it was somebody taken from United States, somebody doing something to the United States. But when they found out the truth, they went up against their own country, the United States. And the United States took their butts out quick. Why? Because they go and they'll leave to go find out, is this true that these people are doing something to the United States? But when they went out, they found out it was all a lie. So when they make it back here, they're ready to retaliate against the United States. And what do the United States do? They retaliate. They either execute them or they kill them on the scene. It's a known fact because they don't want it to be spilled. But here go me, little old hen. I think back over my life. How know y'all heard that song when it said, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been saved. I got a testimony. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard of that song. It's an old hymn, but it's the thing about it. It reminds me all the time. Look back. You see, you already saw that, right? And I'm like looking at this and I'm like saying, this Reenact guy, he's a host. It's his channel. And he's just dumbfounded. So he went back over in my turf. He's on my turf now. This guy is on my turf. But guess what? He's on my turf, but he ain't where I'm at. And I just think of myself being where Yah has placed me. And what was the purpose for me, being dealt with since I was 4 until now and knowing these things already? Because the foreclosures, this man went a Reenact. They've been telling him about the foreclosures. Lately. And I'm like, see, look at you. You getting it all. You getting all the knowledge. But what are you going to do with it? He just dumbfounded. He don't trust his country no more, y'all. This man do not trust this country at all. Because they taking him back. Who's taking them back? The old heads. They taking them back. They took him to the Pentagon. The Pentagon. They took him to the Twin Towers. They took him to the what's that? The White House, the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, and somewhere else, and broke it down to him. There was no ISIS. No plane flew into the Twin Towers. No plane flew into the Pentagon. And I'm like saying, but I already knew that, Father. Y'all, what's the deal with these people bringing this stuff up now? He said, Deborah, because the power of the knowledge is being revealed in this day. The power of it is just going to be revealed. What it's going to do, it's going to make these people see really who their country is. It's going to make them see it. And they're not going to gain nothing from seeing it. They're not going to gain anything from seeing it. But it's just the idea we're in that day. And he allowing them to see really who your country is. Because that's one thing the people do not want to see. They don't want nothing to do with understanding what this country is, because they thought this was great old America. They don't understand. The people in this country don't understand. America wrote or signed the sheet already to sell this country off. They were selling you out throughout years, but you still too ignorant to accept it then. Now to what they were doing then, even to the point where you see where this country is at now. they still reject the fact that the American people have done all these things to their own people. Yes, with me, my only one I have to go to, you guys, the only one I have to go to is the Father. I can't come to you all. I can't go to my mom, my sisters, and my children. So what do I have to do? Endure. So just imagine me trying to explain to people about 2008. They had set it up, you guys, to take the people houses. What bothers me is to know the truth of the matter behind it is a country that have signed the sheet to sell their people off, and the people can't see that if you work 40 years, how dare you let somebody come in your house, come in your space of living after living 40 years and take your mother, your father, your house from you, talking about a foreclosure, your house in foreclosure. How could this country have done that? Because they had already signed the sheet over to that the United States belonged to whoever they signed it over to. Do I know? Yes. So when they signed it over, that means that United States had to put a lot of collateral up. So they took the houses to put all of that up. That's why all the foreigners came over to start buying the houses. You see what I'm saying? You guys, they've been doing that for quite some time, and some people are still going through it. Well, my so-called sister, she thinks she knew everything, but she found out she didn't know nothing. When it came down to my mother's house, my father and mother got a 6 bedroom, probably 6.5 bedroom home, 3 levels. And my dad had passed away, and my mom, they come telling her, she kept getting mail, which everybody was, regarding foreclosure. So my sister and them called themselves taking it into their hands to try to see what they could do, or if mom had to just let them get the house. Find out that my dad and my mom, years ago when they purchased the house, they had signed in that if either one of them passed away, it's automatically paid off. So when my sister and them went to find out, because they were telling everybody, go down and find out if your parents still own the home, because it could be in foreclosures. They're gonna get their house taken, and they might not know. No, everybody was getting their house taken and had no idea that the system was taking your house. Why could the system do that to the people in this country? I'm gonna show you. So when they went down there, the lady sat there and told them, "Your mama's house is paid off." Praise the mighty Yah. They couldn't take my mother's house. Her house was paid off. Isn't that beautiful? You see that? So I thank the Most High for that. And it made me feel so good, that the house was paid off, and the system couldn't touch my mama's house. My dad and mom worked hard to buy that house for their children. They couldn't touch that house. It was paid off. Okay. So, but getting back to people who felt put in a corner. Y'all did not know a lot of homelessness took place during this time. Okay. They jacked the rent up to keep them from even being able to afford it. That's what this company did. This not company. That's what your country, United States, did. The system. United States is a part of the elite system. And that's what they did to the people. That was 2008. 2011 pulled up. How could a country not see all the things that was taking place that was clearly seen was a setup? They still did, even to today. They waiting for 9/11 so they can celebrate or recognize, not celebrate, but recognize what took place. How are you going to recognize what took place and you never had it right? Exactly what had taken place. You had no idea. But they put that and make that a day to recognize that you was naive, that you were ignorant, and still ignorant today. So React is listening to these elder men telling them and breaking it down to them, telling them that we know it wasn't. We joined the organization and we nailed it. We found out, because they were pilots, they were all kind of people, VIPs got together and said, wait a minute, this was a setup. But they never pulled up out to tell the United States anything. They stayed low. Now they coming up and talking about it. So the man in React, he just so dumbfounded. Because when I heard it, first thing, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first heard it, first thing I said, when they talking about what all United Snakes did, the system did to different, tell them what they did to Kobe Bryant. Tell them what they did to Michael Jackson. Come on with it. I'm just saying this while I'm in the making my rice and in the water, washing dishes back and forth. And I'm like saying, are they gonna tell that? I'm saying this to the Father. I'm talking to the Father in heaven, because after I'm hearing this, I'm like saying, go on, tell them everything. And they were telling him about the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, none of them. None of that happened. How could a country in this world see all of these millions of people in this country, and now no, the people couldn't see it? How could that have been? I remember standing on a mountaintop trying to convince people that was a setup from this United Snakes. Nobody would believe it. Nobody could see it. Nobody comprehended it. Nobody, even to today, they would rather take 9/11 and celebrate it as a day to recognize than to get to the core of the truth of the whole matter. So I'm saying tonight, this is revealing the power of the truth and knowledge for the end day. Why? He said, knowledge shall be increased. That means that light finna pull up, and I ain't gonna say getting ready to pull up. The light has pulled up to shine in the midst of all the darkness that has taken place down here. And if you don't gain the knowledge, that's just because it ain't meant for you to have the knowledge. You're supposed to be in America. So this is what he told him. He said the reason why they can't gain the knowledge and they can't see, Deborah, because remember in Revelation, it said a powerful word, come out of her. They too detach in her to where they can't come out to see the knowledge of who this country is. So therefore, I have already have it written that I'm going to take them out. And one thing they started on, and I remember this, I don't know if you all, and it bothered me, y'all, so bad when that plane went down. And I don't know how many was in it, but there's a lot of people in the plane. But what really got me, all those scientists that was on that plane. Oh, that bothered me, y'all. Oh, that bothered me. Because I knew it wasn't a plane that had crashed. It was the United Snakes had done something. And with me as an individual in the spirit realm, I already knew what had happened. But what my problem is I didn't want the elites to escape it. What I wanted is them to be captured. I wanted the world to see who they are. I wanted the people to understand, y'all, these things ain't happening because they just happening. You got to get those who are playing the big role in this and the little role in, but you people in this country, these people, when he said come out of her, I said, Father, who is saying that? Who's saying come out of her? He said, it said low and said once, because they won't come out. So I just want everybody to know, come out of her, or you shall receive her. Because what do that mean? You all don't even understand it. Many of you all are still caught up in her because you approve of her, which is the wicked of the wicked ways and how they have done things throughout time. They sat back and they muzzled your mouth. They closed your jobs. They closed your store. They locked you in your house. They did so many things, and while they bring out a bio on you, and nobody said a mumbling word. So this man in React, he just fed up. He's seeing all these people, professional people that works in the power behind and with the United Snakes, but they don't work with the elites that's more powerful than they are. But they are the ones that saw this stuff, understand this stuff, and coming out to lay it all out. And I'm like saying, but is it a reason? No. This is the sort of stuff been in darkness, Deborah. It's coming out. And even those who are going to be being up and down because of all of it, and them not knowing that this took place, is because they love this country more than they love themselves. They've been rooted in this country and have no idea their country is your enemy to you, like your flesh is. It is an enemy to you. And the things that they're doing now, still you got people not paying any attention to. No, it ain't that they're not paying any attention. This is also the power that these The Most High Yah is allowing these things because, believe it or not, when you said nothing about it, you was a part of it. When, even slavery, you was a part. Everything that was wicked and evil, when you sat back and said nothing and played a role, you played a role in it. And the reason why you played a role in it is because that much darkness rests within. You can't see that the wrongness in what this country has done and continue to do every day. So he's just all over the place. And the man told him, this is what he said. He said, so what about all of this? Is what he asked the elder man that broke it all down to him. He said, what about all those people that was on the plane that ran into the I'm gonna break it down to you, that ran into the Twin Towers, and the other plane they said that went into the Pentagon? The man broke it down to, ain't no plane crashed into the Pentagon. And the moment I saw the Twin Tower, I already knew. And it's just, what got me was when I heard people talking about it today as if it's something they found out that had took place. I said, but Father, I already knew it. You know, it makes me feel who I am in him and who he is in me more so than anything. He said he abide in me and I abide in him. We become one. So I just feel so grateful that I have him in me, that brings that oneness of who he stands for. Because I sit back and I think about all the things that I have opened my mouth to throughout my life. And to hear this man, the react guy, just overwhelmed. So this is the question he asked him. He say, watch this here. I'm going to show you how swift this man is, this elderly man that was telling him the truth of what had happened, the way I knew it. Let me tell you what the man said. The man in react said to him, he said, but what about all those people who died on the plane and who crashed into the Pentagon? He said, first of all, foremost, no plane crashed into the Pentagon. That was a lie. Second of all, the two Twin Tower, he broke it down. Guess what he told him? I don't need it to be broke down to me. All I need is what y'all wanted me to have. And that was a United Snakes action. That was them. When I was able to look into Bush's eyes while he was at the thing, what I read in his eyes was, oh, they finally doing it. They finally did it. They finally did it. That's what I saw in his eyes. I didn't see a man that was concerned, or it was almost like, oh, they finally did it. That's what I saw in his eyes when he was with the little kids reading the book during 9/11, when they brought the news to him. Why? Why did y'all show that on nationwide TV, that you going to tell him what they did to the Pentagon? I mean, to the Pentagon and the Twin Towers. You go to tell him why he's sitting with the little kids, and you whispered in his ear to tell him he looked like. And he told on himself. He told it to me. That's one thing I said, there it is. He had a plan in it. Yes, they all had a plan in it. They knew it was going to happen. This is how they get these people in this country to believe this good old America is all this and that. That's why they got all these people on Democratic, Republican, Donald Trump, and Biden, and this lady. All of this is another way of making fools out of the citizens, as they have done throughout time, to believe anything and everything, to the point where they are willing to bring a civil war, and they're gonna get the fools out here to fight a civil war based on all of their piled up lies. This country should right now be looking at Democratic and Republican and banning and boycotting voting. That's what they should be doing. That's what they should be doing. But what I believe, there are people who, as long as they got their jobs, they got their retirement, they got all their pension, and their family can get loans, they good to go. They think this country's in right standards. They don't even see that they are going down. They're going down with the ship. They have no idea that this country is not going to be what they think it is going to be. They to me, it almost, it's kind of wicked, because they're not concerned about their children or their grandchildren. They're not concerned about anybody, as long as we can get our way. We can get our way and continue in the way that we have some time to raise our children. They're not looking at it if they have wronged one group of people. They have wronged you. You just too stupid to see it because you think it's about what you're able to get and have, but you don't understand. If you're going to get and have the people they wrong, you're going to be partaker in it. And that's why they're wronging you. When you think they're wronging a group of people, guess what? They're wronging you at the same time. They are wronging you at the same time. Because the foreclosed came across the table. It didn't matter what race or what you had. 9/11 was across the table, was it not? All kind of people died. You see, the COVID across the table. They ain't playing no more with you and what side you want to be on. Because you're European, you want to be on that side, and we're gonna favor you or you. And them times are over. This Donald Trump and this Kamala, whatever her name, and Biden, all this stuff is over, y'all. And who's standing back in the background of darkness? Obama. Waiting to make they move on the American people, and they still can't see. And after this man was explaining to him, I'm gonna break it down to you. This man is just so shocked. He said, they just told me about, he's just now learning about the scientists that I knew the day it happened. What happened to our greatest scientists? They were supposed to had died in the plane crash. They gave, I remember it was $41,000 to each individual who lost a family member on that plane. And in my mind is, people, don't be concerned about the money. Find out the truth, y'all. I knew it all the time. I knew it was a setup. Just like Kobe Bryant. Just like Michael Jackson. All of this is a setup. This is the power that beats, that many of you all turn a blind eye like you can't see, in a deaf ear. It's nothing you can do about it. But I think the greatest thing to all of it is truth. Can you do something about what they're doing? No, you can't. But you can know that you live in truth, that what you can see and you can understand what's really taking place. People don't want that. They just want to live the lie. They want to be in the midst of the lie 24/24. So let me tell you what the man told him. He said, he asked the man a question, but what about all those people? Was all those people really on the plane? The man said, no comment. I stop here. I don't blame him. He stopped right there. Smart. He was an elderly man. He said, no comment. I stop here, which is very good. Because you asking me a question about two planes running into the Twin Tower, a plane running into the Pentagon. How are you going to ask me, was those people on them planes, when you know that they were? No questions. I can't answer that. That's what he told him. I loved it because to me, enough of the information was given to you to tell you, regardless who was on the plane, you know they were on there, it was your country. But now you want to know, what about the people? What happened to people that's on the plane that crashed? They died. So why are you asking this man that? But I like his answer. 3 times did he tell him, I cannot answer that. I have no response. Because what he's saying is, I sent a sign. I sent out there to y'all. I'm the one of the most VIP under this here category. And if he said, when there were people on the plane and they died, then he opened up a whole can of worms. And I'm glad that he did not say that. He handled it very well, in the spite of him breaking it all down and told the truth. He told all the truth, you guys. He just laid it all out and told the truth. And this guy in reenact, he's so upset because he said, but everything that has happened here in the country now is coming to the core. This country been doing a lot of evil. That's all they know to do. And this is why I say, revealing the power of truth and the knowledge for the end days. So when he's finished, this man was telling him that, okay, you know, there was people on all these planes. So he didn't say that to him, but what he was telling him, I'm not going to comment on what happened to the people. Just like the scientists. I knew the scientists, they say that plane had crashed, but guess what? My little mind, y'all, how many years ago? Y'all, that was a lot of years ago. But in my mind, because I'm me and I'm by myself, my mind was like this. Okay, Father, they took them scientists, didn't they? They put them on the ground. I knew it all the time, y'all. I always knew. I said, there ain't no plane crash. Why can't the people see it? All my life, I always try to figure out why is it people can't see it? It's so clearly seen. No, it's not, Deborah, said the Most High, y'all. No, it is not. It's not clearly seen to people who enjoy walking in darkness. And they just support one of the main targets I'm coming for at the end days. Why is I'm coming for the United States of America first and foremost? A lot of Judah in Israel thinking because they got a lot of Judah here. No, that ain't got nothing to do with it. See, that's what they don't understand. They coming for what I like about the Most High Yah. He said, I'm high and I'm low. I see all things. I know all things because heaven has written all things. This country has gotten away with too much and still, see, y'all know the high ballers are in this country. Yes, ruling this country. The high ballers are ruling this country. And they have done a whole bunch of things that they have gotten away with. Okay. And instead of us observing it, let me show you the example. Like my sister, I know y'all probably say, I hate when she said it. She said, yeah, I keep trying to tell my daughter, her daughter, she tells me this all the time. Always keep up with your bills. Pay your car note, pay this. I don't care what you do. Keep up with your bills. See, and people don't understand why you keeping up with your bills. The world that's wicked and evil is robbing you 24/24 when you woke and when you sleep. That's how powerful the knowledge rests before you all. Just showing you. I had to learn 2 days ago the deepness of this country who takes money out of your check. You work, you labor. They take Social Security, Medicare, local and state taxes out of your check. Guess what they do, y'all? Say, for instance, you start working at 18 and you hit 60. All these years, they take it out. So what? They took it out. Come time you retire, you got to pay for your health insurance. Why don't you bag all that money out and took out? It shows that y'all took out thousands. Why ain't my Medicare being paid for through that? See how sick the country is? To me, signs like that and people who buy into it because now, say for instance, if you knew it was wrong, but you still have to buy into it, that's fine. But when you don't see the wrong of this country, something wrong with you. So when my sister's sitting here trying to tell her daughter to pay all her bills, no matter what, you pay your car note, you pay this, you pay that. She stay with her first and foremost. And she always talking about how she tell her to stick on her bills and pay your car note, always get full coverage. You're being taken advantage while you thinking you're speaking the right things, you're saying the right things, and you're doing the right things. And what? You're doing it all in the name of a country that's not and never have done the right thing. That's why Yah is coming for it. He's coming for it, y'all. And that's why y'all hear where it's talk about smoke and all the other countries going to look over and see the smoke from this country. That's why they're going to look at it and they're going to say, because it's going to be a sight to see that it's no longer existing. Such a power puncher, you see. But see, a lot of people thinking this is about someone, China and Russia. This ain't got nothing to do with them. It's got to do with Yah saying, okay, you done played in the darkness. Now darkness is going to play on you because I'm going to take you out. You see? See, a lot of us think we seeing it as China and Russia or they warring against. No, baby. No. That's why he said in Matthew chapter 24 and 6, he said there'll be wars and rumors of wars. But he said that's not it. Don't worry, because that's not it. He's letting you know what is it is what I'm about to do. And see, they don't grip it. They don't grip it here. People don't get what he's trying to tell them and what he's warning them. So I got to keep saying that I am so grateful that he has been with me so long so I can be able to walk in this what I could see. Because if I'm seeing this stuff, I told y'all many a times I should be in a mental hospital. But because of who he is in me, that's why I'm not. Why do I say it? I told y'all the reason why I should have been in a mental hospital is because I saw things not as you all see things. I saw things brightly and in the light. Even if it was just me, only person in the world that's seen it. That's how I felt it. Because I couldn't get no one to hear it and really expound on it or, say, well, yeah, because they did this. Then you say, oh, yeah, you got it. Then you got it. So this elderly man just he broke it down to him, and he was talking about, I've been talking to them, and they broke down to him, the plane that I was telling you about, they had them scientists on it. They broke that thing down to him, and he was shocked at all kind of things that the United States have done, that have portrayed that other ISIS and other countries have done it. These people are coming up, breaking it down to him about this immigrants and all of that. All of that is a plan. While Israel and Judah run around here talking about, we it is, we it is, we it is, we it is. We going to Mount Zion. We go. Yeah, baby, you ain't going nowhere. You're going down with the ship here. Okay? You're going down. You're going down with the ship. Just as easy as he said, come out of her, or you shall receive her place. What did he say? Come out of her, or you shall receive. Wait a minute, hold up. Who are you talking to? Because these people ain't coming out of Babylon. Come out of her is when, if you got the Holy Spirit in you, you don't be embedded in the ways of this wicked country. You don't be embedded with the ways that they're doing. Come out of her to where you can have that mindset, even like I have. I don't see America like you all see America. Because why? I'm not in her. I'm in her, but I'm not in her. You get what I'm saying? So this is what he's meaning. And I said to the Father, I said, well, you never really kind of cover that, but where he cover it is when he's within you. Come out of her so that you shall not receive her. Well, so you're saying if they don't come out, they're going to receive it. You better tell them like it is. You better tell them like it is. Let them go and stand around. Because out of her is when you come right in here. You know the truth of the matter of what's going on in her, and stop being in full denial like my sisters. My sister, all of them are. They follow this protocol that this country rules and regulation is all that answer. Everything that they use to destroy. Because so now the Medicare, now they took it out of your check for from 18 to say 40 years, 50 years almost, and then come time for you to retire, they care you got to pay your Medicare. Well, wait a minute, you took Medicare out for 40, 50 years. What you mean? See how they robbing you? And your eyes are closed walking in the door. Is it something you can do about it? No. But when they did that to my ex-husband, I pulled up. Okay, tell you what, keep working. Keep working. As long as you want to keep working, keep working. Now, what they gonna get? And if you're not working during the time you're at the age of 65, watch this, y'all. Say, for instance, you're 65 years old and you're not working, but you have not accepted Medicare B. Guess what? They charging you the full amount each month, whether you get it or you accept it or not. They charging you. They putting it on your tab, 300, 350, 400, whatever. So when you get ready to accept Medicare B, you got a whole debt behind you because they are charging you for not getting it. Woo! This is little petty things, just little things that people should be paying attention to. I would have, how people was saving for retirement? These people so ignorant, they don't even understand what retirement is. These people are saving for retirement, trying to reach an age so they get more money for retirement. They're ignorant. They chasing that dollar and that dollar chasing them. They ain't gonna even live to see what all they chasing, because it's gonna start chasing them, because they're gonna start seeing that it's not what they thought it would be. So listen to what they did. They have made it to where, say for instance, if you win a lawsuit, you win that lawsuit. If you receive Medicare B get half of that lawsuit. Say for instance, you buy a house and you got 4 children and you have signed that house over to the 4 children. Guess what? The children gonna get pennies, because Medicare is gonna get half. All because you signed that letter to get, and you getting Medicare B. You see how lost y'all in darkness? All because, but the way it was done with him was, once I find out if he's still working, then he can get his own health insurance. And that's what he did. That's what he's doing. To where if anything happened to him, anything that he has, it don't go to Medicare. I learned that, and in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, because I was going to estate sales and these people were selling their parents' things out for pennies. And I was like, why would y'all be giving y'all stuff, y'all parents' stuff away like this? Oh, well, man, we got to clean the house out because Medicare want us to give them their portion. They have to pay. So everybody policy, Medicare getting some. So why you thinking you're willing your money to this person or this person, your children, your whoever, your mother, your friend, your husband, your wife, Medicare is getting something out of that if you are under Medicare B. Anytime you win a case of any kind, you cannot receive the money. The attorneys have to first contact Medicare to give them their portion before you get any. That's how powerful this country has robbed the people. And yet they walk around here talking about, I'm retiring. And when I retire, I'm going to have this. Baby, you ain't going to have nothing because they're going to take out and they're going to continue to raise it, to take it out to get what they had to get. And I never understood why I saw a lot of people, especially Europeans, always working past 70 as long as they can. When they used to tell me, I never could figure it out. I couldn't figure that out. Like I told you, I just learned that within the last 4, maybe 5 years, that they get partial. Now they get your money during all this time. Watch this, y'all. They get your money from the day you work all the way until the day you hit 65. They take your money out your check. Where's all that money? You see? While you sitting your stupid tail talking, I'm waiting to retire. You waiting to turn around and get your retirement money and still turn it right back over to them. So you have to find a way that you can beat the system at their own game. And it's very hard because they got their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They got it set up to work. And that's why I say this country has manipulated so many people to the people salute this country as it's the best country in the world. And it is not. That's why they allowed everybody to come in. Come on in, y'all. This is the land of the free. You know why? This is the only land that says it's the land of the free. Come on in. They allowed in. It's the reason behind it. Why they allowing these people coming in. A lot of y'all thinking these foreigners are coming in and they getting this and they giving them this. They getting this and they giving them that. But then guess what? They ain't gonna leave out until they pay up. That's what a lot of y'all never knew. That's why y'all never knew. It's set up. It's set up, and they're and it's meant that this country. That's why, because I said to myself, well, what about over in Israel and Jerusalem? They the one betraying to be Israel. Why ain't he hitting them out? Nah, y'all want this country. Y'all want this country because it's the tip of the power that beats on this earth. United States is the tip. It's the country that the elites have used throughout time. This is the country that they have used to do everything to everybody. Solomon Hussein, or whatever his name, they know that man didn't do what they said. They knew he didn't. A lot of this is this country manipulating their people. This country is a snake. And they are the snake of Satan. And the people here in this country call it a great old America, and they cannot see that America is a snake that's getting ready to bite your tail too. Not that he's getting ready to bite your tail. They've been biting your tail, but because you felt you've been having it your way, now the end days where things are being, the power is being revealed of the truth and the knowledge, you're going to see your country set you up to be destroyed, which they have. So in React, he's just dumbfounded. He said, he every bit about 68 years old. I just can't believe all this stuff that's happening, been going on all these years. And I'm like saying, because you thought this was your great old America. And that's the mindset of people. They don't understand that this country is not what they think it is. And running around here and chasing Republicans and Democrats and all this, it's a game they got on y'all. They're playing a game on y'all as normal. When the game is over, guess what? Watch y'all tail die. Watch your bad tail die. Watch how you die. They already said, they already planning, what is it? More than 5 million? Or no, that can't be billion. It's got to be, they trying to get rid of. And no one understands what is actually, they're going to be successful because they're putting it in your food. They're putting it in your water. They put it in your medical care, the pharmaceuticals. They getting you all kind of ways. So they already put a tab that this many people by the year 2005 is going to be dead. They already know it. And I salute what they said. I agree. Because the people in this country don't challenge them or put any type of stop. They so busy trying to fight stupid stuff, Republican and Democratic, not even understanding it don't mean anything. It never did. And now you're about to see Republicans or Democrats, you're going to find out that they are one of the same. They've been working in this together. And the elites put whoever they want in here to distract the people of this country going to and fro and never really getting the real overall of really what they're doing. And the people still blind today as they were yesterday, thinking that it's about Republicans and Democratic. They'll never find that what the country, I believe the country is going to find out is when they thinking that the moves of this country is really to go after a certain people. See, that's another thing about the United Snakes. They really think since they didn't got away with so much in this country, and that anything this country do is only going to tap her in to make it worse for a certain people. See, and what they don't understand is Israel and Judah has not cried out. Why? Because they're in her, and they won't cry out because they don't know, first and foremost, who they are. But this is also Yah's doing as well. They're not, he's not going to even allow them to know, because what you don't know won't hurt you. So you in here for the long haul. And a lot of Israel and Judah don't understand you're in it for the long haul, baby. That means when he said come out, the reason why he said it once in the your whole instructions and direction, because he knew you wasn't coming out no way. You see? But the thing about it is that you're going to fall with the Titanic. You're going down with the ship. And the ship is going down, because it's no way y'all going to let this country continue to do what they're doing. He's not going to let them continue this. I say in the next few years. I mean, this country's already sold out. They done signed the sheet and sold you off. That's why when I heard about that Social Security thing and that birth certificate, I did my search. And it's a bank. I went all the way to the bank. And what I saw there, it was like $20 million. So all that time y'all thought that them taking out of your check since you was born, not since you was born, since you was working, and they taking out, where's this money going? You see, that's why they still taking it out when you retire. They still taking your money out. Now and then this is why they got the most. They got some of the healthcare plans that's under Medicare is horrible. And the people keep telling my plan is horrible. They don't pay for this. They don't pay for that. That's on y'all. Y'all didn't let this country do what they do best, and that's rob, kill, and destroy is what they done to other countries all this time. Now it's time. Not that it's time. Now it's applied to you all. You're starting to feel a little of it, but it's too late. You got to feel this thing. You got to feel it, especially like you got people out here talking about if this one don't win, Trump starting a war. All this stuff Trump is doing, everybody's saying Trump is doing, and yet they still running after the Republicans and running after the Democrats. Everything they said Biden has done, they still running their tail out there to vote for that. You see, this shows you that it's a no win for this country, you guys. It's a no win in the eyes of y'all for this country. And the country knows it. Well, why would you say they know it, Deborah? Everything. See, when you see this whole United Snakes, guess what? The size of United Snakes is also on the top as well as under the bottom. How you like them now. See, while we're sitting here on the top, we're thinking we got it going on. They got it. They're at the point where they don't care if you have it going on. That's why they're bringing these bios on your tail, feeding it to you in your waters. You can't even escape it. Guess what? It's in your pollution, in your air. They spread it. They doing all these things, and what this country do, standing back. And they ain't got no shame no more. They ain't got, it's all in the opening. Why? Because they already signed it on a dotted paper. They already got a new world under United Snakes underneath this. It ain't called the United Snakes, but underneath the ground, y'all. While y'all up here fighting, killing, destroying one another, and thinking you're doing something to one another. This is the sort of stuff that needs to happen here. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. That's what you should be afraid of, and nobody is. Nobody could care less. And I didn't quote that so many times, but people could care less what it means. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. They don't give a rat. They don't care. They just figure out whatever, because they don't understand. When it's saying nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, you have to go now, take it to the altar. When I take it to the altar, it's on. It is on. See, and what you would do, you would read it and see where it says nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, whatever it be. I'm ready. But you don't even know what you're ready for. Because a lot of people thinking that they're going to escape to somewhere else. No, you're going to reside right here. You're going to be right here. Tribulation is not coming for only certain people. It's coming for all here. Tribulation is here, and it's coming, and not coming, and it's going to be worse. But it's not going to be for some and not for others. You see, it's going to do what it come to do. And you're going to feel it. You're going to experience it. And you and yours or will and shall many lose their lives. So the game is really played on you all. But this is what I asked the Father. I said, Father, how is it that the Gentiles are really seeing the end day knowledge? Why is it that the Gentiles are seeing the end day power of truth? And you got Israel and Judah sitting over here talking stupid. Strictly, you can't find a group of our men that's willing to talk some sense and make sense of it. None of them. Because they thinking that if Umar or whatever his name, this man been talking this for years. He had at one time $1 million donated to him. I can guarantee you he ain't got a dime of it now. He's chasing that dollar. Because if you so busy wanting to be about Black Pan-Africa, he want to make us Pan-Africans. You so busy being about, why haven't you done anything since you've been in play? He found a way that he can make all this money, and that's what he's sticking with. That's why. He ain't put forth nothing, because it ain't meant for him and nobody else of our nation to be trying to achieve on a land that he's going to bring down. The best thing you ought to do is to lead your people into the light. That's it. That's all our men should be doing in this day and time. That's all our women should be doing. It's leading our people to the light, giving them spirit and truth, showing them the way to the bosom of the Father. Outside of that, they ain't got no business talking about the world, what the world is doing. But this is showing you they can't get away from it. Why? Because they are in the world and they can't come out of it. See, they can't maintain their platform on YouTube and come out of the world. See, you can be in the world, but not of it. They don't understand. Not only are you in the world, you're loving the world, you're waiting for the world to give you something, and you're rooted in. So when he said come out of her, they're not going to come out because they only way they figure they're going to be able to make it is while they're in the world. So they don't have the sense to understand come out mean come out of the ways that the world has manipulated you to believe the ways of their ways and the ways that they're doing. Instead, they want to stay there because they figure that's the only way I'm going to be able to feed my children. I'm going to be able to have this platform. I'm going to be able to get this and get this if I just stay on this platform. And I today was telling the Father about how grateful I am for him to allow me to practice humbleness, meekness, being low. That's a part of humbleness, silent. You don't all the time have to be on this devil platform speaking and figure, you got to tell them about this, like this, like this, like this, like you should get somebody like me. I'll get burnt out because I feel that I'm giving all that has been given unto me. And it might be an error that the way that I'm doing it, because it was given to me. Just because it's given to me don't mean that you should disperse it and you're trying to give it to people that Yah has not given it to. So therefore, you have to really learn to be humble, silent, meekness, these things that's in you through the Ruach, and knowing that just because Yah enlighten you don't mean you go out and enlighten everybody else. Because if Yah wanted them enlightened, he would have been in them, enlightening them as he has enlightened you. Okay. And what else was there? Okay. So I was just thinking here, even when I thought about Job, Job, as you have read about the book of Job, and how Job had the seven sons and the three daughters. Okay. And how those children were only for a season. They were only for a journey with Job. They was just for a journey with Job. But once Yah brought him back and restored him, he gave him the same. He ended up with the seven sons and three daughters all over again. Not the same spirits of those that were there for the journey. See, those were children that was there for the journey. These here were children that he had afterwards were children for the promise. That was the difference. They were there for the journey, for the mission of what was going to go on with Job and how he's going to lose everything. And losing everything was including the children in which he had that was just there for the journey. You see? And that's why he's end up inheriting children again, you see, because the first one was just for the journey. Okay. And the second one was for the promise. They were for the promise of the eternal. And that's the difference between. So all those children he had together, all those children was a lot of children from that one wife, you see. But yet no, Yah restored him back the same in what he lost, because he's here for a journey and a purpose. No matter what goes on with Job, even his flesh falling from his bone, his sickness, yeah, all of that was for a journey, you guys. It was a journey that we were supposed to understand that happens, and that how Yah, we supposed to got the glory. The glory is supposed to have been given to Yah. Our understanding of Yah's glory was in Job when he restored Job. So we should have been able to see Yah working it from the beginning of Job life to the end of Job life. But 99.9 will never see what was the whole purpose, because when you start seeing them throw down on them kids getting out of there, right then they tapped in. You see, I like what Job said, ye though you slay me, yet I shall trust in thee. See, he's telling him the spirit realm. Ain't nobody did this but the spirit realm of who you are, Father. And I'm going to trust in thee. You see, that's how when you are in the spirit and Yah is about you and you about him, more so that he's more about you than you are about him, but he's walking with you on every side and in you. Let me tell you, you got to take everything as he speak it to you in the order of either the spirit realm, where he's just trying to get you to see the deepness of his power, his glory, and his honor, and who he stands for. I like that, because he did that with Job. Even had to charge Job. Where were you? Where were you when I hung them stars, bad boy? You see, I love that, because that remind me of the one that I serve. See, because that's just how he deal with me. And you know, see, and I like that. I like that whole overall. But I was dealing with Matthew chapter 15 and verse 22. There was a Canaanite lady that came to the coast, and she began to cry out for mercy. She asked Yeshua to have mercy on me. And that's in Matthew chapter 15 and verse 22. And she says to him, have mercy on me, oh Yah. Lord, thy son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with evil. Ooh, vexed with evil. And he saying to her, she saying to him, she saying to Yeshua, have mercy on me, and that her daughter is vexed, grievously vexed with evil. And then in verse 22, 23, it is said, but he answered her not a word. What will make Yeshua stand there and be in the presence of this woman that's asking him to help her have what she say, mercy on me, oh Lord, thy son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with evil. You know what that has to be? Her daughter is vexed with evil. That had to have been some sort of spirit on her daughter for her to bring it before Yeshua like that. In verse 23, it says, but he answered her not a word. Okay, he got silent. So what happens? And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away. See how the disciples will deal with situation? Send her away. Now, I want you to keep that in mind. The disciples saying to Yeshua, send her away, for she cried after us. Why couldn't you hear her cry? And why are you telling Yeshua HaMashiach to send her away? Shouldn't that be his choice? Why are the disciples stepping in when they have no power? Why is they stepping in when they have no Holy Spirit? Why are they stepping in? Because they're just flesh. They're flesh. Okay? And they said to him, even though in verse 23 he said, but he answered her not a word. And the disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us. Ooh, we Father, y'all. Now, this is the disciples saying this, but you have to also, they didn't have the Spirit on them or in them. So what happened? Listen to this. I'm going to show you how, and a lot of times I have explained to you all, even from Genesis, when I have spoken to you all about how the power was present in the beginning, and the power is his right hand, his stretched out arm. That's all of his power. It was present at the beginning when he said, let. He was saying his power, let's bring forth this. Okay, so it was his power and his word spoken, his power. Right today, 99.9 people are in full denial of knowing the power of Yah. So when he came in, he said, denying the power, that is so 100. Denying the power therein. And that's what everybody wants, is to know Yah in a way that they don't have to know his power. And it's impossible. It's impossible. You have to know the power, because the power is Christ. And if you don't know the power, you don't know the Father. Okay? Because his power is his right hand, his stretched out arm. It is called Christ, the part of him, his only begotten, that he sent down with the Son of Man to assist him in this Father's his mission, which is the Father's mission. Now, watch this here. Once I read this, I said, but Father, they can't see that. To me, just hearing react, the man there in the last few days, I'm going to tell you, it's been longer than a few days, but he keep being shocked at all this stuff that everybody's coming out and telling the truth of the whole matter. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, everyone I have heard been 100. So I said to the Father, I said, well, why is it the Gentiles and the heathens, all of them know the truth, but what's wrong with a people? He goes back to stiff neck. He goes back to disobedient. He goes back to rebellion. He said, here it is. It's like this. I chosen them. Do they know me? That is so 100. That is so 100. That is something that makes you sit down and say, that makes sense. You see, it's so much that he can actually say to you, about Israel and Judah not knowing anything and being the people that they are. Because I'm asking him, I said, well, how do they get to know, or why do they get to know? You see? And they're getting to know today, because he said knowledge shall increase, which is the spiritual knowledge. So somewhere along the line, truth is coming out of the spiritual knowledge about what all that has taken place in this world today. It's just people are not in tune with that, because they think the world revolves around their flesh. They think the world is going to always revolve around their flesh. That's why they're never going to give their inner man a chance to know truth. They're never going to really reach out for the light, because they think the whole world revolves around their flesh. And they use their flesh mind, their flesh wisdom, their flesh knowledge, their emotions, their feeling. All that is flesh. And they never tapping into, hey, wait a minute, I got a spirit that knows more than the flesh does. They don't want that part. They too tapped into the flesh. Now, right here is another what you call mystery in Revelation chapter 10. He said that it's over. That last trumpet, angel that blew that, I think it was the seventh trumpet. He said it's finished. And if anything, it's going to come from the prophets. The mystery is coming from the prophets. He didn't say the prophets just of yesterday. He didn't say the prophets just of today. He said the prophets has the mystery. And I thank him for that, because he called them his servant. See, we are servants. We're not getting away with nothing either, y'all. We ain't gonna bypass all these things that's taking place. We're gonna have to endure. We're gonna have to go through the tribulation just like you. We're going through it too. But I just thank the Father for his grace and his mercy that he has poured out upon the people here on the world, because at any time he could have wiped this thing out, but he kept it going through the grace and mercy that he had poured out on all, so that he can keep his will of his word from A to Z. Now, when I got to Matthew chapter 15, and I noticed that in 23, that Yeshua didn't answer the woman, the Canaanite woman who asked him to help her. He wouldn't answer her. And the disciples told Yeshua, just send her away, for she cried after us. So when you get to verse 24, and this is what I want y'all to be careful about, what I'm about to show y'all right in this here place. When you get to 24, you hear it says, but he answered her and said, now watch this here. I am not sent unto the lost of the house of Israel. Do y'all see that power in there? Who in the live chat can see that? Verse 24. And he answered and said, you notice it's not saying, let me see. Verse 24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You see all that power in that? Can you see it? There's a lot of power in that one verse. And I was like, it's no end to it, Father. It's no end to so much light being present, Father. So if we don't see the light, it's because light don't see us. That's the only way I see it. You can't see light if light don't see you. Okay. If it's saying here, something is saying that's very powerful in verse 24. First, he didn't say anything in 23. Yeshua, he answered her not a word. And disciples came, besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. Now, why would you decide that he should send her away than to respond to her? Why? Because she was a Canaanite. Okay, and she wasn't Israel. She wasn't a Judah. She wasn't Israel, nor was she Judah. She was a Canaanite and came from the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thy son of David. My daughter is grievous, vexed with evil. And Yeshua said not a word. Right? He didn't want to have no dealings with her. Joshua had to go over their heads. Okay. What you see, what I see in verse 24, I just tell you what I see. First and foremost, I see I am stepped in. Father, y'all help me, help me, help me, help me. In verse 24, I see I am stepped in. And you notice when they said, but he said, but he answered. You notice that it didn't say, and Yeshua answered and said. Normally, when Yeshua is saying something, it says, Yeshua answered and said. I want you to go to Matthew 15 and to verse 34. When you get to verse 34 in the same chapter, 34 said, and Yeshua said unto them. You see what Yeshua said? Then you go to 32, Matthew 15 and 32. Then Yeshua called his disciples. Then you go to that same chapter, Matthew 15, and you see where it says, then Yeshua answered. You see that? What happened to verse 24? Matthew's verse 15 and verse 24. Now I am stepped in. The I am have stepped in. That's another thing when I say, when you know you got the spirit of Yah in you, he'll show you the I am. Notice I am answered. Notice it says, but he answered and said, I am. Now I am is speaking. Watch this here. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why did the I am step in? Because Yeshua was sent for the lost sheep. So he's there to assist Yeshua. Now watch this here. Verse 24, he said, he answered and said, I am not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he's telling her, yes, Yah pulled up. I'm going to show you how deep he pulled up. I'm going to mess you up. I'm going to show you how you know it was him. Because first and foremost, as you see in Matthew chapter 15, verse 21, you see Yeshua went. Verse 28, you see that Yeshua answered. In verse 32, Yeshua called his disciples. In verse 34, Yeshua said. Here you notice it says, and he answered and said, I am. I am is speaking out of Yeshua, not sent. So he's letting her know that he's not, that Yeshua is not sent, but to the lost sheep. Okay? Yeshua is not sent, but to the lost sheep. What do you mean, Deborah? Because she has no idea that I am is with Yeshua. So I am is speaking now. And this is what? I am not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let's continue. Then came she and worshiped him. Woo! You don't see that power? You don't see that power come up? That sister, I don't know if that's a sister. No, that ain't no sister. She pulled up and said, what does it says in 25? And then she, and watch this. Then she said, no. Verse 25. Then came she and worshiped him. Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! Why? Because something in her told her that the I am is speaking. It's time to worship him. she see that the situation I am in, it's time to worship. She wasn't worshiping him first. Now, y'all don't get it. I know y'all don't get it, but I'm going to break it down tonight anyway, okay? See, in Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24, it says, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's where Yeshua was sent, only to the lost sheep, okay? So I am is saying to her that Yeshua is only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But what the woman caught on to, that I am is speaking. Wait a minute. What did she do? Then she came and worshiped him. You'll think she'll jump up and say, okay, then, since he's just here for the house of Israel, okay, I ain't got no help. No. It was time to worship. Why? Because I am is now on the scene. Woo, Father, yeah. She's saying, now, y'all, I know y'all don't get it, but that's okay. I'm going to break it down. In verse 24, but he answered and said that I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right then, he's telling her, ma'am, I'm only for certain people. I'm here for the house of Israel. What did she say? Not another word. What did she begin to do? Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. I'll be for the house of Israel. He can be for the house of Israel. I am have stepped in the scene. I am have stepped on the scene. You see, she recognized I am is on the scene. You see, now and that's where she's began to what? Why did she, when she first approached him, why did she worship him then? Why in verse 22, when she came to the coast and she cried unto him, saying, help me, have mercy, O Lord, thy son of David. Why did you see the lowercase son? She's speaking to Yeshua. Why didn't she worship him then? She looking for a blessing. Why didn't she worship him then? She worshiped him in verse 24 when I am come on the scene. Now it's time to worship. And it says in verse 24, then. Now, even though the I am charged her that he's only come for the lost sheep, that Yeshua has come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, it didn't matter to her. She recognized what? The I am have stepped in. You see, she recognized the Son of Yah is on the scene. She recognized the Father in the kingdom is on the scene. What did she do in verse 25? Then she came and she began to worship. See, why didn't you worship Yeshua when you came to her? Because you heard the I am stepped in, and now you know what time it is. She began to worship him, saying, Lord, help me. Now watch this here. Verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet, watch this, y'all, to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs. What do y'all think he said? But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children bread and cast it to the dogs. What do you think he was meaning? Boy, let me tell you something. Okay. First and foremost, he's showing you what I've been trying to show you all for years. And that is Israel bread is spiritual. It is bread from the Most High Yah, spiritual food. Okay. That is given to the lost sheep. How did the sheep get lost? Before the foundation of the world, we were put under the guideline. This is before the foundation of the world. The sheep that has eternal was put in the Lamb book of life, sealed. Now that's why that book was sealed in Revelation. Then over here in many books were put those who's going to die in the lake of fire, and they were sealed. Now he began to create from what? The books. Everybody down here came from one of those books, from the book of life or the Lamb or the book of dead. Everybody who has hit the earth, you came from one or the other. Okay. Now, here, the lost sheep was those who's from the book of life. They are the lost sheep. Israel and Judah is not the lost sheep. There are lost sheep in Israel and Judah, but they are not the whole overall of the lost sheep. And a lot of people do not know that. They have no idea. The lost sheep are the sheep that came out of the Lamb Book of Life. That when they got down here, they went into a different lane in life. So Yeshua was coming to bring them back, the lost sheep, and put them in the proper lane so they'll be eternally going back from where they came from. And where did they come from? The book of life. So he's come to take the lost sheep that was written in the book of life. Okay. They got down here because this world is loaded with sin and wicked and evil, and the deceiver is on the earth to deceive what? The whole world. He didn't say a partial of it. He said Satan has come down to deceive the whole world. So who got deceived? The lost sheep. So that's why he need a sacrifice to redeem them back to the book of life. You see? So the lost sheep is what Yeshua really came down here for. And are the lost sheep in the house of Israel, in the house of Judah? Yes, yes, yes. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. So what he's saying here to her, that I am not sent unto the lost, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's just letting you know. What did it say? Of the house of Israel. Of the house of Israel. Of the house of Israel. Who is sent? Yeshua is sent only to the house of Israel. Okay? Why? Because they lost. They got lost and went down the wrong road once they on earth. So he got to put them back on the right road so they can make it back to the Lamb Book of Life. Now watch this here. Now, then came she and worship. The moment he said that, then came she to worship. And this is going to show you all that you might have it totally, not might, most likely 99.9 got it wrong about other nationalities being also in the Lamb Book of Life. Watch this here. She says, true, verse 27. No, verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children bread and cast it to the dogs. The bread is what he's speaking of, is what was meant for Israel and Judah. Okay, Yah sent down the bread for the children, but the children waste the bread. That's why crumbs were falling from the table. It's because Israel wastes the bread. You see? And the crumbs of those that the bread was for fell from the tables when it shouldn't have been no bread falling from the tables. But watch what she says. This is where you have to understand, Yah override our thoughts in our flesh, our minds, and our hearts, the way we think, our wisdom, our knowledge. He don't play with that. Y'all gonna play somewhere. Go somewhere and sit down. Y'all ain't about that. Now listen to what she says. When he said, Yeshua said, but he answered and said, so we still dealing with I am. It is not meet to take the bread, to take the children bread and cast it to the dogs. Now that's I am still speaking. I am is still speaking. How's he speaking? Out of Yeshua. Okay. Now watch this here. He put that charge on that woman. Why? Why do you think I am put that charge on that woman like that about the dogs? Anybody know? Why would you think he put that charge on her like he did? First and foremost, in 24, he went to saying that I am not sent unto the lost sheep on but unto the lost sheep of Israel, the house of Israel. Then she said, and then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. Okay. And verse 26, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children bread and cast it to the dog. Why is there crumbs falling from the table? Watch this here. The crumbs represent not only the lost sheep, the crumbs also represent those who eat the crumbs. They too are grafted in. Okay. So what does he say? And then she said, true. See, this is a woman that has something already from the kingdom. And the I am knows it. I like how he planned it out, because he's not letting Yeshua have no detachment to none of it. To none of it. What he's saying to her, Yeshua is not going to have no detachment, but he's going to step in. Watch how Yeshua step in it after the I am is dealing with this woman. Watch this here. So let's go back to verse 26. But he answered and said, who answered? I know who he's talking about, the I am. It is not meat to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. And then the woman stepped in and say what? And she said, truth. Truth. How could she answer what he said to be truth? The word dog and the bread for the children. Come on now. The children bread. She didn't come and say anything until she let him know truth. His grace and his mercy. And you notice when she said to him after he said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. Notice this is supposed to be a Canaanite woman, a woman that's strange, that's a stranger, a woman that's not Israelite nor a Judah. What is she saying? Oh, I love how you put that. She knew the dogs would stay at the table. I like that. I love that. That fits so good. Oh, that sounds good. She knew the dogs will stay at the table. That's deep. That's really good. That sounds really good. That fits right in. Here in 27, and she said truth. Now, what has Sister Deborah been on this Deborah platform speaking? Spirit and truth. Truth is one of the most powerful things on the face of the earth. And it stands next to righteous. Those two are most powerful thing on the earth. Why? Because both of those can conquer the whole world at a blink of an eye. Okay? At a blink of an eye. Truth and righteous is who Yah made up of. That's him. You see? That's who Yah is, his makeup. It's truth and it's righteous. Okay? So here she calls it out. Because she know who she talking to. She knows she's talking to the I am. Okay, now watch what she said. She said in verse 27, and she said, truth, Lord. and yet, and here she go, but yet, not but yet, the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. From their master's table. From their master table. Look at their master. Their master. Their master. Now, if I have a dog, that dog that I have belongs to me. I'm looked at as the master of that dog. Notice she says in verse 27, yea, the dogs eats the crumbs from that which fall from their master table. That's how the Gentiles got in, you guys. They were grafted in through belief and faith. But watch it where it's at. Now watch this here. Verse 28. Now you hear Jesus, you hear what it says, Jesus, but Yeshua pull it in. Now Yeshua come in and said, then Yeshua answered and said unto her. Oh, now he's shocked. Why Yeshua shocked? Why Yeshua shocked? Because The I am did something again that Yeshua wasn't really ready for. Because up at the top, it says in 23, but he answered her not a word. And his disciples come and told him to put her away. And that's why I am had to come on the scene and speak through Yeshua. You see? Because the mind of Yeshua was closed. He didn't say a word to her. And then the disciples was telling him to put her away. But then in 24, you hear the I am now coming in and speaking, letting her know Yeshua was sent to speak only to the house, the lost sheep of Israel. This is what I am was saying unto her. And she began to worship. Why is she worshiping? Because he said that Yeshua was only sent for the house of Israel. So why is she worshiping him? Because she know who's talking. Ooh, wait, Father Yah. She know who's talking. And you two out there, you got to know him. Because he has to rest in you. So you'll know his voice. You know, he said his sheep knows his voice. You got to know his voice. Now watch this, what happened. So now Yeshua said, oh woman, great is thy faith. Oh, praise. What is he saying? Look what he said. Oh woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou will. Because what happened? She was identified. She was identified right there. Yeshua was able to identify that woman when she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. From their masters. Look at theirs. That's the Gentiles being grafted in. From their master table. So Yeshua could be for Israel. But those that's grafted in is grafted in by the Father. You see that? The Father grafted them in. And she was able to recognize that the crumbs that fall from their master table, even though you're here for Israel, you still our master. Drop them crumbs and we'll take it. Praise the mighty Yah. Exactly. Why? Why? Because when you see 28, you see now Yeshua doing exactly what he did with Peter. When he asked Peter, who is I am? And Peter told him who I am was the Son of Yah. Right then, Yeshua had to take a step. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that unto thee. Why? Because the Most High Yah, through Yeshua, through the Son of Yah, revealed things to people and overstep Yeshua at a blink of an eye. You won't know he overstepping them. It's the way it's done. And a lot of times he talk about the mystery that is given to his servant to give unto you. This is what they coming to give you, the mystery. Now listen to what he said. And then Yeshua, listen to how he ushered and identified her from that time on. And Yeshua answered and said unto her, oh woman, great. Look at that word great. Y'all don't see it, do you? Why Yeshua said great? Because his Father called the situation out. The Father called the situation out. But when you heard that woman say truth, wait a minute, what do you know about truth? And then she said, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master table. That verse, Matthew 15 and 27, should have been spoken out of every true Israelite, true true Israelite, true Hebrew, house of Israel, and the tribe of Judah. Y'all should be able to stand so tall on that verse right there. Because that would have showed you how they got grafted in already. They were already in there. It was already written that they were grafted in. That's why she was calling him. First, she called it truth. What he said was truth. And then she revealed to him that the crumbs which fall from their master, he's the Gentile master as well. Praise the mighty Yah. And they, the world and everybody that lives would go straight over their head. Why? Because the Ruach got to be in you to break that down in you so you can see it. Now watch this here. And then she's letting them know, she called him, she called him out. She said, from the master table. From the master's table. This thing went way above, and it's letting you know it comes from their master table. So she's including herself, even though she's not an Israelite. She's including herself as their master table. Even the dogs would eat the crumbs from their master table. Now, this is where the key at. Now Yeshua finna step in. And Yeshua answered and said, "O woman, great." Look at that powerful word he pulled in. Great. Look what Yeshua said. Great. Who is he saying it to? A woman. You see that? He's saying it to a woman. He's saying it to a woman. Listen to what he said. And Yeshua answered and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith." The 4 brands. The 4 brands I explained to you. When you come down to the earth, there's 4 brands that's branded in your spirit, not in your flesh. And it's righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Those are 4 brands. And I told you the Gentiles, which is this woman here, they're grafted in by what? Faith and belief. Faith and belief. Why? Because belief is attached to faith and faith is attached to belief. So they got to have the both when they come down. And this is what she said. That's why she was able to say they would eat the crumbs from their master table. Because even though the master is about the house of Israel, they too would eat the crumbs that Israel don't take in. Because they're coming in by faith and believing. Now, listen to what he said to her. Y'all, this is where y'all don't get it. Now, this is something this woman then called, Yeshua then called her out, and he called her, "Great is thy faith." Now, he didn't call her eternal life out right there. He didn't call her eternal life out right there. He ain't done that for his 12 disciples. He didn't call this woman eternal life right there. What did he say? "O woman, great is thy faith." Because faith is the substance of things unseen, but belief bring you on in. You see, that's one of the brands. Righteous, belief, faith, and fear. The Gentiles coming in through belief and faith. It's been branded in them to return to the bosom of Yah through faith and belief, belief and faith. So Yeshua is calling it great. Why? Why is Yeshua calling it great? Because this woman is standing before the I am when she began to worship. She knew who she was worshiping. And she began to tell even the dogs. She was willing to embrace the fact that you want to say dogs, that's fine with me. I would eat the dogs eat the crumbs from the master, from their master. So the crumbs that the dogs are eating, who's dropping? The crumbs are being dropped, but it's from the master table. So what is she saying? She's telling them, he's telling people like us and all of us that's out here that Yah has those who going to eat the crumbs off the table. They're grafted in through faith and belief. So Yeshua turned around and called her faith great. That's beautiful. And I don't think I don't think he called now one of his disciples great. He called this woman her faith is great, is thy great. He says, "O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou will." He calling it out, what he's telling her. He's giving her the authority to have it the way she will. Why? Because he now see that she is from the kingdom. Because she had great faith. See, this faith people thinking is what they believe and what they say faith is. Faith ain't got nothing to do with your flesh. Faith ain't got nothing to do with your mouth. Faith is something within, and that's what he's fighting. She got great faith because she's speaking to the I am, while the I am is speaking out of me and let him know, I even know that the crumbs coming from your table, master, the dogs eat up. So then what happens after that? So I liked it, that whole idea that she was able to stand there. And then it says, and the daughter was healed, and the daughter was made whole from that very hour. From that very hour, that daughter was healed. Why? Because the woman had what it takes from the kingdom. That was faith. And you would think that it was the faith from the healing of Yeshua HaMashiach. Nope. It was from the faith that she gained in the kingdom. Because listen to what Yeshua said. Listen to what Yeshua said in verse 28. Be it unto thee. Woo-wee! Be it unto thee even as thy will. Your will. The way you want it done, be it that. That's what he was telling the woman. Why? Because that faith she has was great. Letting her know you got it, you got what it takes. And then at that same hour, her daughter was healed. And she was talking about the demon, the devil that was in her daughter, which today is in a lot of the children, in a lot of the families, in a lot of the children, the adult children, the young children, the mother, the father. A lot of them are running here to and fro, just having their way, just having their own way. But I love the way that, and I don't think no one would break it down because they really don't understand what she understood. They didn't understand that the idea of who was calling her out as the dogs, and they didn't understand her calling herself out as the dogs. Okay, they didn't understand it. No matter what he called her out and said a dog, and no matter what she said, even the dog eats the crumbs, she was still coming from the kingdom level, the faith for the eternal. That's what she was speaking out of it. That's why Yeshua called it, "Oh woman, great faith." Yeah, because you knew that was that faith from the kingdom. It wasn't that faith down on this earth, just having her own so-called faith. Yeshua knew it. Yeshua knew right then this woman is a woman from the kingdom. Because her faith is great. Who gonna give somebody that type of faith? Who gonna call that faith out great? Come on now. To where the Son of Man, Yeshua HaMashiach, called her faith great. Wow. Wow. She was what? She was no different than the house of Israel coming back for the lost. She was no different. She had the faith that entered right back to the kingdom. See, we don't know. We think we know where we at. We think we know where we going. Until you know Yah in that type of form, the way he created things, you're not going to be able to get it. And when he said in Revelation chapter 10 about there are certain ones that are my servants, they'll give you the mystery. Now, you heard many of these people, and they get up on their high horse. They pride and they boasting when they teach that message, because they think it's about a woman not getting being a dog, okay? Or they think about the word dog, and they don't understand. She called herself a dog. He called herself a dog. But when it was all said and done, the kingdom called it what it is. the faith from the kingdom. How about that? So we can look at it as dogs in the eyes of the way it's spoken, but when you really in the spirit realm, it brings out the light. It brings out who's who and what's what. Because Yeshua turned around and called her, oh great, what did he say? Oh woman, great is thy faith. Why you don't give her faith that great? Why you don't call it great? Because now you know it's from the kingdom. See? So that's why he said, be it done unto thee even as thy will. Call it out, woman. The healing you want on your daughter, call that bad boy out and it's yours. You see? Why? Because her faith was so great. And with faith, it's a substance of things unseen. So we know it ain't something you can see. So you can't run around here saying you got faith because you can't see it. But it's connect to that which you believe. So those are two of the brands that came down in the spirit. That woman showed her brand. That's what she did. She showed up. And the disciples telling Yeshua, send her away. And then Yeshua said not a word to her. And the disciples saying, send her away. But what? When I am spoke out of Yeshua, it was a different realm. He the one pulled up with the parable of the food for the children to the dog. And she pulled up on him. In a sense, what did she say? Truth. Why? I know who you are. Ha! Woman pulling up said, hey, I know who you are. By calling him and telling him truth. What did she say that at? Verse 27. And she said, truth, Lord. I know who you are. Then she said, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from there. Who is there? The dog's master's table. Woo! That lady know what she was talking about. She right then stepped into that. I love that because that's not the example it put forth here in Matthew 15 when it speaks of this woman coming to the coast and crying unto him, which it was Yeshua, and have mercy on me, O thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with evil. Right there, when he said vexed with evil, I was like, woo wee. That's one of those what you call that? Satanism, not Satanism. What's that movie came on? Exorcist. You know, getting that demon out of that girl. Oh man. And he told her what? I love the authority that was spoken. And Yeshua answered and said unto her, oh woman, great. See, they didn't even have to put that word in it. They could have said, oh woman, how faithful thou art. Be unto thee even as thou will. You see, he's telling her as even as thy will. But he said great to let you know that's walking in the spirit, that's working in the spirit realm. You understand that was a woman that had already eternal life. She was able to already speak it, to use it. You see? So she came through through faith. It was already branded in her and she spoke it out. And that's what Yeshua was more so he wanted, yeah, he was kind of amazed by the fact to where he said, oh woman, great is thy faith. That's what you get from the kingdom. See, one thing about the Most High Yah, he don't have to check with Yeshua to give you what he has for you. But Hamashiach gonna know what he already has prepared for you. He gonna know you already. Hamashiach is gonna know who you already, because that's the right hand of the Father. That's his word, his spirit, and his power all knitted in one. So this woman here, if you get somebody preaching and teaching, you'll hear them tell you a total different lie. And you'll wonder, it'll make Israel all that and some. See, he only came for the lost of Israel. But see, they keep forgetting the lost sheep, not those that's not lost. See, that's what Israel and Judah keep forgetting. No, it ain't that they keep forgetting. They're resting. They're resting in their ignorance. It's like they believe what was said to them and what they believe and what they comprehend. They believe their wisdom and knowledge and understanding in their flesh, and they believe their interpretation and their feelings and emotion. They begin to rest in what they believe and have no idea what they're believing is self, what they heard from someone. And the spirit of the Most High Yah is not teaching them that. That's them teaching themselves and making sure each and every last one of those that comes around them and fellowship with them believe that, and that's just where they stand. Something else came to me when he said, people think evil only by not believing. When you don't believe, you think and you feel and you think and you do evil when you don't have nothing in you that believes in something outside of you, which is, it don't have to be. A lot of people put their belief in pastors and bishops and priests and many people. That's their belief. But that's evil. That's evil because they feel that they have the choice to believe whatever they want to believe in. But they don't understand your belief is evil. Because the belief that you believe is for your flesh. And that's the topic that I was really wanting to speak on today. And I got my verses and chapters all together. And I wanted to expound on the woman that spoken of in Matthew 15. And then I wanted to speak on the reactive, because I asked the Father, how is it that people are getting it? And the thing about it is, guess what, y'all? They're getting it. They're seeing everything clear, but it's nothing they can do about it. But I believe that this is when they really find out that everything was a lie. I think that's when they're going to really step out. It's when they really find out what everything is. That's when they're going to react in a way, because something very strongly was spoken to me today, and it took me back. And it took me back to Deuteronomy 28. And he began to say to me, you remember, until they are destroyed, until they are destroyed, until they are destroyed. Then I saw this and I said, well, is it going to be exactly like that? And he said, it is said. That's what he said. It is said. And when I asked him, is it going to be exactly like that? Because from why it's speaking to me, I'm thinking of a people that's actually going to be in like a war with someone, and the lives are going to be lost, and it's going to be a battle. And he's saying that it is, and the main reason is because it's already written. And just because we didn't refuse to come up out of the role of stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience, we want to rest right there in that. So we want to just rest in that and say everybody else is a lie and ain't nothing wrong and we good. Let them rest in it. They're going to have to see just like everybody else is going to see. And just like these Gentiles and heathens are now seeing things and realizing that, man, y'all, these people are coming up, pulling up, telling the truth of it all, y'all. I mean, they know already exactly what I knew. And when people of other nationalities pull up and be talking about what I already knew, first thing I go to the Father. Wait a minute, Father. You know what you told me 10 years ago? Father, they over there talking about it. And I'm like, but they talking about it today. They talking about what you showed me 10, 15 years ago, when 10, 15 years ago, they had no idea. But Father, they talking about that today. First thing he told me, he said, you remember knowledge is going to be increased. That spiritual knowledge that's going to be increased is going to bring the light. So all that darkness that was hidden and they denied anything and took on their great old America Well, now the light is being flashed right before them, and now they're seeing it. And their mindset is going, searching everything, y'all. On React, y'all should go there. It's called React. They going back and searching everything, because I was like, but Father, and I know he's tired of me doing it. Father, they talking about that you was talking about 25 years ago. You know, when you said this, they talking about it. They said it, and they on here and they talk. And this is how it's coming to light. And it ain't gonna hurt, it ain't gonna hold no purpose, y'all. Isn't that now? That's what's kind of powerful. Just because they coming in and they seeing everything for what it is, it's not going to bring them any healing, no deliverance. It's going to bring them what is due them. And that's the judgment, the tribulation that Yah is going to, that Yah is allowing to take place. So in the midst of all of it coming onto the country, he's still allowing them to see pin needles of light. And they going way back, because honey, let me tell you, they didn't go back to I have not heard them go back to the foreclosure. And I guess they figured because lives wasn't revealed or bit was taken, but it was, because a lot of people right here today that you see don't have nothing, and homeless and out here, many of them lost their lives, died out on the streets, not having, staying with this person, staying because their homes were taken from them. Great number of them. But they don't see that, but they're grabbing it. And it bothers me that they see it. It really do. Y'all might think I'm crazy. It bothers me that they able to see it. You know why? Because I'm like saying, the dirt been done. Now they see it. What are they gonna do about it? What are they gonna do about it? I think it's going to spark more things in the country, the people opening their eyes to realize that this country been doing this since the beginning of time, and a lot of stuff that they have lied and they have manipulated. The people really believed it. They really believed in this country, you guys, but that was their God. Anytime you worship this country, when you see people with flags up in this day and time, you see people putting their flags up, want to be on Republican, want to be on Trump's side, want to be on Biden or Kamala or Democratic side. These are people who still chasing their tails in hope that a country is going to turn around. There's no hope for this country, you guys. That's why they don't care about nothing that's taking place. Donald Trump is traveling many places. Donald Trump is doing a lot of things, and a lot of people are not keeping an eye on the things and the places that he is going and the things that he's saying. He's actually telling everybody, I want and I feel that I have to make sure I stir up enough trouble to get the war started. So you all might think this about Republican and Democrats, Donald Trump, and it's about starting destroying you. I'm gonna tell you, that's the truth of the whole matter. Is now trying to destroy the people, to eliminate the people lives here in the country. And will they be successful 100 times 100? Yes. Yes, they will. Because I sat back and I watched what they just did with the bio. And I said, why is it the people don't know that that's a bio they putting on them? Why is it they can't see that? And then they also shooting something in you that's even supposed to take you out in due season, in a due time. That's why they got the amount of how many people who are going to die within the next 3 to 5 years. They know already that that's a part of it. A lot of people, when I first, I was in McDonough, Georgia. I had moved to McDonough, Georgia. And at that time, I remember a lady explaining to me about they're planning on doing a lot of movies from McDonough, Georgia. And they did. And one of them was The Walking Dead. A lot of you all do not understand why did they have that program and have it on for years. A lot of you all don't understand. They did that to show you exactly what and how it's going to come to pass. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand the purge. They don't understand. When I start seeing how openly they was putting movies when they came out with 2012, and I was like, wow, 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 wow. And I believe that that's part of leaving the light on. You know, the Father said Satan is fully aware that the light has to be left on. That means for those that see the light, that they can see straight through the darkness of what they're doing. So I believe Yah, and when he says that Satan has to leave the light on, he charged him to leave the light on. And I always wonder, why would you want him to leave the light on? For minds, so minds could see. Now nobody else, it's not for them to see, it's for my own to see. So that has been exactly what has been a part of me, is being able to see in all that darkness that's taking place, and that what they're doing and how they're doing it is to affect us, and we are to think it to be normal, or think that, oh, it's okay, or it ain't gonna be. The Walking Dead is what is going to take place when people start to get to the point where something is inside of them that's causing them to be the violent that they are. And I think that's already working in a lot of people, because they don't understand what is being released out here and what is put out here for people to even be doing the things that they are doing. I heard that a lot of people don't understand a lot of the things that they do have going on. You got to understand your great America is playing a role in it. Like the Donald Trump uh, fake shooting, okay? Kentucky highway thing that just took place. I'm gonna tell you what I seen in that, and the school shooting, and many, many others that's taking place. A lot of it is set up, y'all. And it reminds me of years ago when I saw that plane, and when I saw the plane, when they talked about the plane crashing, it bothered me, because it's almost like I saw it, but I didn't see it. But it was like I saw it, but I didn't see it. It was like I saw it, but I didn't see it, because it was something in me that told me the whole overall of the plane. And that's something React was talking about today. And I'm like, dude, you talking about stuff that I already been telling people. And it's something that these people are ready to hear these things. It's like they're ready to hear it, because they've heard it, and it's broke down. And I'm like saying, but that's the same way I was saying it to you all. I'm telling you all, I talk about so many things that the Father has shared with me. When that plane crashed, I was so disappointed, because all of those, I think it was 41 scientists across the world on that plane. And I was like, why would all of them be on that plane? And where were they going? They ain't dead. That's me. That was my whole mindset. They got that plane somewhere. They took who they want out. They did away with the others, because they turned around and gave all the people, I think it was $41,000 for each one of the passengers that died in that plane crash, the parents, or the wives or husband, whoever. But in on that plane was, around the world, the best scientists, you guys. They put them underground. They're underground. They took them people. Came up with 2 or 3 movies of the whole thing. I was like, so everything you think you seeing, that you think that ain't what it is what it is. It's as clear as you see it. That's what it is. And when I said The Walking Dead, I believe the mindset, and I see all these these people out here. And I don't know if y'all know, Biden also approved substance right during the pandemic for certain people. Over where I used to stay, it was a place where they could go, and they could, and I didn't know what they was doing. I was wondering, were they giving them money or what? Them Europeans were lined up outside every once a month, And I used to say, what are they giving them? Somebody said, that's a drug facility. They're giving them drugs and they're giving them a check. I said, for what? And then I think I saw it also in Cleveland. They were doing it. I was like, what are they doing? That was right after the pandemic. That was something Biden had passed that they give them. And people, and it's really pretty much really too late to even talk about it, because like I think back when that plane they said that plane had crashed all them years. And I said, Father, them people, they took them people, didn't they? They took them people. Them people ain't dead. Those people were not dead. And so React is kind of upset because he's trying to figure out how is this country doing all this dark stuff and the people, and we not know it. It ain't that you don't know it. You put too much confidence in this country. You made this country your God. So let your God keep dealing in what your God is dealing with. You see? So now it's like, okay, I can't believe it. And y'all, it's not just here, it's everything. These people are dissecting. React. The reason why I think it's important to go to that channel is because they tell you, and this is another part that bothers me. I sit back and think how they even discriminate against us as a people, even on these platforms, y'all. Because if I like what I'm talking about now, it won't be long before they zap me out on here. And couple of other 2 videos that I've done, I'm waiting for them to take me off, because these people will come to this page 6 months later and tell me I broke this. They finally caught up with what they heard, and you know what I'm saying? And they doing that, but they only do it to why at first I try to understand. I said, wait a minute, how could they discriminate against us? And then they told me they got y'all in the little black box. I said, how they got us in the little box? They got y'all only in a certain sector. Every now and then, other nationalities might come and dip over, but it's not a section that they're going to open up to their people. You see? And I said, wow, yes. Yeah, a lot of people think they got some members, baby, you ain't got it. You ain't, nope. You still in the little black box. YouTube got you still in the little black box. So I'm like saying, since we're in that little black box, why is it we don't make sense of us that's in that little black box? Why ain't we eating from that little black box? We are, but we eating the lies. We eating the darkness, the food of the flesh that needs to be and want and desire to be taken care of. We want that information to please our flesh, to make us think we are in there. But they are doing so many different things to where we're not. Other countries, like what I'm talking about, you ain't gonna get the Europeans to hear this. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not going to hear this. The way YouTube got us set, they got us separate, even though we think I ain't gonna say these people on this devil platform think they famous. They famous only to this little black box, and that's as far as they go. Reenact is I've heard him several times during the pandemic, and they were giving you information of what the government them are doing. I mean, bringing some light to it, but they didn't jump into another. And I'm trying to say to myself, I'm like, oh, they're gonna get them. They're gonna look for them. They ain't gonna be able to sleep. They gonna come to their house. That's my mindset, because they're telling so much truth, y'all. The only reason why I know that is truth because they speaking things that I knew about years ago. And I mean years ago. Things that had happened in this country I already knew. Al Qaeda and all that old mess wasn't true. And they're now coming to the surface, finding out that all of it was a lie. And I'm like saying, so they gonna not only know their country have a lie, so that's maybe be what really gonna trigger a lot of them to get together. Because I know that the scientists, they have grouped together. They have quit their jobs. They have doctors and people who does embalming. They're coming together in a oneness, because now they know that it was some sort of DNA. Okay, and this DNA is causing these things to grow into the people's body. To me, it looked like aliens. I'm gonna be honest. That's what it looked like. And I'm like, oh. So all these problems, people are falling dead and having all these problems with their body and everything, is people who've gotten 1, 2, 3 of those, and now it's growing in their body, and it's growing into tissue, and they can't understand. And the life of them, they said first and foremost, it has to do with the shot. And the shot is a part of a something DNA. Whose DNA? You see? So now they're trying to get far away from American system. That's what they're trying to. They working on the. I mean, I ain't gonna say they almost away from it, but I can't understand how they're able to speak of it on this devil platform. But somebody like me speak of it, they come after me and shut my. And I try to figure out, well, why is that? But other nationalities can talk about it all day and all night. They don't have no problem. You see? And what I do understand is that they don't care that it's out. So nothing I'm saying and nothing they're saying, they just don't like it coming from me. They just don't like it coming from me. Let me say that, because that's how they have done me. They don't mind. Reenact got their own platform now. Plus, they run their videos on YouTube, and they don't mess with them. They said that they censored them or whatever. But these people that's coming up, y'all, these people that's behind this whole country, they're pulling up, telling people what this country have been doing all the time. And I'm like saying, what benefit is it today? None whatsoever. None of it don't mean nothing. These people just don't understand. It don't mean nothing. But I feel, to me, truth. Like that woman spoke. She said something when he said that the children's bread and to cast it to the dog. I love what she said, because she said truth. And that's what keeps me going. Even though all this stuff that I'm looking at and the Father has revealed to me years ago, and now they coming up saying that, I still feel good in me. I'm grateful that I was able to know it then. Even Obama, I knew Obama wasn't who everybody thought he was way back before he even ran. So the people couldn't stand me talking about it. They couldn't stand me talking about it, because they looking at it, oh, a black man, that man is not black. And even if he was, the elites of this world that runs the world, they place them wherever they see fit. I understand Oprah. I understand Tyler Perry. I understand many of them and what they're doing. I understand P. Daddy. I think it's a Puff Daddy, whatever. I understand them. Understanding don't mean agree. Understanding mean you know how they got to A to Z. That's what understanding means. Knowing how they are or got to A to their Z in the world. It's in their flesh. A lot of y'all might be looking at it and thinking when they did say, yes, they all that, and they going to what you call the lake of fire. But they got to die to get to their come judgment. Right now, they feel they have to live. And what they're doing to them, y'all, which a lot of y'all don't know about, is either life or death. Either you're going to do this, don't ever do anything for your children, your Negro, African American people. Don't ever be salt given to any organization. Why you think Oprah have and none of the nobody on this ever platform teaching preaching? Why hasn't Oprah be a billionaire and ain't done nothing to the black community? Why haven't Tyler Perry? Why have Puff Daddy never done nothing for the whole community? But we're looking for the Europeans to do something, but we never really sit back and wonder why. Because they still got a knife at their neck saying you better not move. So if you're going to live, you live doing all the wicked and evil we tell you, but you better not look like you're going to help your nation of people. See, they already charged them, and you all might think they just standing back not wanting to do it, not desire. No, no, no. It's either life or death. Look at what I just told you they did with the plane crash. I knew this years ago. And here now the React is now finding it out by the people who did their own. They had to go in hiding to do their own investigation. Now they out. And they telling him that was a setup. 9/11 setup. And I'm like saying, but they just not coming out, Father. And that happened all the way back then when I was said nobody, it ain't meant for nobody to hear you, Deborah. You are not created for people to hear you. You're not created for people to listen and pay attention and take what you said at face value. You're not created for that. You're the pin needle of light that I always had in the midst of darkness. Because I always got to have my ram in the bush at all times. In spite of how much darkness is on this earth. Things are not meant for people to get. You knew about the foreclosure. You knew about all kind of things because greater is who I am in you than he that is in the world. That's why you know what you know. You don't know what you know because of who you are. You know who you know because who I am in you. That's constantly updating you on everything you look at. I break it open and show you it's like a piece of, not a piece, a pecan, a nut that you crack open and then you open it up and they're the pecans are inside. So don't think that you're able to just open them up and you get it. No, it's me that's in you to allow you to see it for what it is. But it comes with endurance and long suffering to know that these things has taken place and continue to take place, but it's nothing we as a people can do, you know. And that's one of the biggest things that makes you be in so much sorrow is because like Yeshua, at any time he could have did whatever he could do or whatever he want to. But who was holding him up? The son of Yah saying, hold up, we got to do it this way. This is the way it has to be done, you know, to please the Father, to be obedient to the Father. That's why he was able to go into Gethsemane and say, take away this bitter cup. Why he kept telling the disciples, stay up, don't fall asleep, stay up, and why I go away and pray. Why you want them to stay up? Because he's in the flesh. He feeling that thing. He wants somebody else to feel it with him. But they couldn't feel what he feel because his mission wasn't their mission. Their mission wasn't his mission. He had to go that alone. And that's what you call endurance and long suffering. You got to long suffer this thing yourself. If Yah called you to it, that's how it has to. That's the only way it's going to go down. You know, I noticed also the words talks about if you are of the Spirit and how you should walk in the Spirit. And how you should walk in the Spirit. And if you are the flesh, then you'll be about the flesh. So tomorrow, my topic is going to cover the flesh. Who are we in our flesh? The last videos I uploaded was about the spirit, but I want to come and I want to bring a message regarding who we are as the flesh. To just get a little bit about who we are as in the flesh so you can see the ugliness of who we are on the outside in our outer man, especially when you have not had the spirit of Yah in you to help mold and shape the flesh on the outside of you. And that's what I want to cover is also the flesh. Since I covered the spirit, my next message is going to cover the flesh. This is what I wanted to say that's strange. And this is why I really jumped on to the platform, because I said to the Father, I said, hold up, something going on. Something is going on. And I began to tell the Father about all these people that's doing all these things and they showing these pictures. I said, Father, I've seen these people before. What's going on? Do you all know everything that happens when they show you a snapshot of the individuals? I have already seen them before. I have already seen these pictures before. So what the Spirit of the Most High Yah says, they're using pictures of others that they have used before. And this is what he told me. He said, and they using AI to enhance it. These are, because I'm like trying to figure out. I said, Father, this man, the man that was shooting on the highway in Kentucky, y'all, I done seen him so many times. I done seen him so many times in snapshots. And I'm trying to make sense of it until the Father told me they using AI. They using AI. You have seen it. And I'm saying, I knew it. And everything, the young man that went into the school, I'm like, wait a minute. I've seen his face before. It just doesn't make sense. You know, the one that they claimed that shot Trump, the sniper that shot, y'all, I've seen him so many times. And in my little mind is long suffering and endurance, because I'm trying to put the pieces together. And I said, Father, I've seen him. I've seen him so many times. This man is on a Kentucky highway. They're doing a shoot. I've seen him. They showed this picture. The young man for the school shoot, I've seen him. I'm saying to the Father, what is these pictures of these people look like they was in time past did crime? He say they taking them and they enhancing them and putting some of the same pictures out. And I'm like, but it's the people really doing this? Let me tell you something, y'all. Do not put your trust in this country. The country is doing to you what it does to other countries when they want what they got. They would bomb a place. They would kill women and children just to get the oil or whatever they have on their land, even the control. This is what this country is built up on. So when you see people hanging flags and talking about great old America, Republicans and Democrats, you know what I think? I think the whole United States should have boycott election. I think the whole United States should boycott the election this year. I really do. Just to show the elites that y'all tough, all right, but y'all ain't tough enough to really take on us like this anymore. This is it. So myself, I would suggest any and everybody to boycott this election this year. Don't participate in it. But you got so many people ready to kill and destroy and to start a civil war. They've been waiting for it anyway. They've been waiting for something to kick off. And because it's taking so long, they plan also were to bring these people in to bring our numbers down. See, what you all didn't understand is they know that we as a people, there's something else that they know about us that we don't know of ourselves. There's something else they know about us that we ourselves know not of. Because to bring in these immigrants, and I can't explain it. I cannot explain it. But I remember seeing it. I don't know if that was in a dream or a vision, that these men that they were bringing over here, and this was probably 3 or 4 years ago, during the right before the pandemic, they were going to bring these people from other countries that's been in crime and been with I used to think Cortez and got locked up and been in crime. They were going to bring them over here. Now, the purpose of them doing it for the people of this country to stand back and say nothing about bringing in immigrants, for them to constantly be taxed and pay for their health care and pay for their food and everything for them, for us to stand as peoples around. I ain't gonna say us, the great old America, those who have their flags high and mighty, and they are great old America. And you can't see that them bringing them immigrants in here, somebody's going to have to take care of them. And this is how ignorant the people are. They lost with the cause and without one, because they cannot see that that's one of their biggest trouble. Because what they're thinking, this is how they're thinking. They're thinking that, okay, they bring them in. Oh, we're looking for them to, to put a certain people in check or to destroy certain people. No, that's not how the system looking at it. Just like they didn't care who died in 9/11, they don't care about who's foreclosed, people losing their foreclosed homes after working all these years to gain a home, and then you come back and take it from them. And everything that they're doing, they don't care about race or nationality. That's what a lot of people don't understand when you're dealing with the system of this country. They do not care about Europeans and blacks or American Israelites. They don't care about it. All they care about is the idea of maintaining their power and control. And they're bringing these people in, and this country never thought. This just shows you that this country, and if you feel that you are great old America, that's fine. But this country alone has not even eyes. This is why you know it's full of darkness. Don't even have the eyes and the sense to see who's taking care of all these people. You think because the government giving them this and the government giving this as they take from you. That's how ignorant they are. They taking from you, but they giving to them. They're taking from you, but they're giving to them. They're taking from you, but they're giving to them. And this country, the people in this country have no move, no nothing, because they thinking that them bringing in these immigrants is going to do something to us as a people. They have no idea they're coming for them, not us. Okay, we as a people got to go down with the ship, or before the ship, like it was prophesied. Like I said, I've told y'all this for the last 3 years. They took out Deuteronomy 28. They took everything out, and they threw everything away except for the ship, the yoke around the neck, and the bondage as far as oppressed. They took everything else away. They didn't teach and preach, nor did they dissect it or break it down to give you some sort of idea of all this end game sin being destroyed. So I don't look at the migrants as a means of coming to do anything positive, because Revelation told us what they was coming over here to do. They were strictly devils, unclean birds, foul birds, and they were devils. So we failed to even look at the fact that for them to be that, then that makes it dangerous for us as a people. But we want to hang on to this here. We the people, we the this, we the that. We all going to the Mount Zion. No, you ain't, baby. Tribulation is already taking place, and it has to come to your door. And it was feel so good to hear several men teach that thing. They say, yeah, you thinking it ain't coming to your door. It's coming to your door. I said, I've been telling them. They don't believe it. It's coming to your door. You better wish, not a wish. You better hope you got the ruach you said you got. Because if you don't, you're going to be tried by that fire. And you're going to see who you are. It's going to identify really who you are. And I've heard two, it's been about 3 of them. I think it's like 3 males teach that thing, telling people that, hey, y'all, the tribulation and it's coming to your door. You might think you got everything, you all this and you all that, it ain't gonna happen. Oh yes, it's coming to your door, my door, and anybody else. And I say the same thing. I don't think people are going to escape tribulation or the judgment that's already set. I see the migrants are coming in, and I even when I go to the store, I see them in the stores, and they hold the way I feel about them. It's like they have no self-control. They are not going to have no. They're waiting for something to kick in, because they took all the children. They took all the children, sex trafficking, this great old America. You run around here putting your flag up. See, to me, that's what I'm going to put on YouTube. You all need to boycott And that's what I'm going to do, a video on YouTube, and I'm going to put up video on TikTok. People need to boycott the election this year to make a statement. But no, they ready for a fight. Everybody waiting for a fight. Everybody looking for what's going to happen after, not even understand it's going to be the start of fire that you gonna hope that wasn't kindled, because everybody looking for something, chaos. That's all people are looking for, a lot of chaos, and they don't understand. You're gonna get it, and you're gonna get it, and your whole life will be never the same. Your life will be not the same. So tomorrow I will cover the flesh. But I appreciate each and every last one of you are in the live chat. And I will be back again. And I say shalom and shalom.